KG Primary and JHS Kaise the Trem Kodano ICT Sawbano Muslim Insro your Arabic class I Hifzul Quran and Quran memorization be hafiz bro your man Kodano breakfast and then lunch come leading edge academy your Pakoso Kumasi Asotoreman Pong Road Freya 0540 121 933 and 0243 208 556. Leading Edge Academy, standard and quality education for your kids.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله ثم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم أما بعد. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for gifting us with another day and health and life. We pray and hope that He grants us the best of this period. As we are all aware, this is a program, the book review show on MAM Online Radio and TV. We are still treating the book, The Muslim Home by Sheikh Muhammad Saleh Al-Munajjid. Now, and gradually we are heading towards the end of the book. Alhamdulillah. Last week we started with evils at home, or certain evils that we need to pay attention to in the home. Alhamdulillah, this week we are going to finish with the evils in the home, and if possible we'll also go into the home inside out and then try and finish with the book, inshallah. That's the last chapter, the home inside out, that deals with the physical decoration and other things of the home, inshallah. So we wouldn't waste any further time. My panelists are here, alhamdulillah. Today I'm going to really have an interesting program because I have a full set in the home, in the studio. I have with me Brother Idris Muhammad Awal here, who is our regular panelist, and then I also have Abdul Fattah Saeed. He has also joined us today. And then on the far side is our sister Hassana Ibrahim Adungu. Now, last week Husseina came and this week Hassana has come. So we will see, inshallah. Brothers and sisters, we are starting with the program like that too. Dealing with the dangers at home, or the evils at home. The first thing we are supposed to look at are the television, the danger of the television, and then we move on to the mobile phone. You know, these two are the technological things that have become part of our lives, and we seem not to be able to live without them. In every home you find a TV, and every human being of today, even small children, own a mobile phone. So we need to be able to see how we can manage these things as we seek to also build ourselves as human beings, as parents, and also, you know, grooming our children to become responsible. So talking about the television, we are going to look at the things that dominate our TV sets these days, and then also its impact on the family, and then what should be done about it, inshallah. I'll give you all about 5 minutes to touch on that, and then we'll move on to the mobile phone, inshallah. So I'll start with you, Brother Idris Muhammad Awal, inshallah. So let's look at that, inshallah. The things that dominate our screens at home, our screens on the television, and then how we can deal with them, inshallah. Its impact on the home and how we can deal with them, inshallah.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا مولانا محمدا صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم عبده ورسوله أما بعد. We give thanks, praise and adoration to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we seek His blessing to our noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We say once again, we say salam to our cherished viewers and listeners. Alhamdulillah. the evil effect of the small box, that the television in the home. Yeah. You know, the impact the television have in our homes are numerous. Socially, physically, intellectually, everything. But looking at the time, we're not going to take all of them. May Allah grant us goodness and understanding. Hardly any home nowadays is free of some devices. That includes a screen, that TV and computers, and very few of these machines are used for wholesome or beneficial purposes. You know, there are advantages and disadvantages pertaining to these televisions. And as parents, you know, Sheikh said that these are the recommendations to have a Muslim home. So it is recommended that if you buy a TV set, then definitely you have to take control of what your children watches, because nowadays the things that dominate our TV sets, Bismillah, is not good at all. You will see ladies half naked. Even the language they are using, the abusive words and the rest, and our younger ones copy from them. Even when they are in schools, what they portray, especially looking at Bollywood, Nollywood, Hollywood, what goes into their movies, especially the problems of extramarital affairs. You know, when you watch some of these movies, you know, it portrays that extramarital affairs, there's nothing wrong with that.
Normal.
Yeah, it's normal. If your husband is cheating on you, you can also cheat on him. That's what they portray. So if you are the leader of the house, it means that you have to get your people, you have to put them on check on what they watch. You know, there are some educative programs too on the televisions, especially like this National Science and Maths quiz. Yeah, your kids can watch them, and alhamdulillah, they can pick something from them. There are health issues that are discussed on our screens. Also, there are also programs like What Do You Know? They are all there. You know, the productive programs on the screen, we can encourage
Is What Do You Know still on TV? I don't remember the last time I saw What Do You Know. It's still on TV.
It's still on it. It
means I have stopped watching television.
May Allah grant us goodness. So with the arrival of satellite dishes, which bring shows directly onto Muslim homes and the widespread sale and exchange of movies, the matter of controlling these devices has become nearly impossible. You know, most of the time we, the parents, are not in the house. We are not in the homes. So we leave the children alone with these screens. So they manipulate it how they want it. But I think if we are to, inshallah, set rules and regulations pertaining to this digi box, I believe that inshallah everything is going to be all right. This is the little I can say about the digi box in our house, inshallah.
Brother Abdul Fattah, he has mentioned about some of the things that we see on our televisions and how dangerous they are in the home. I would also, you know, talking about the movies, he also mentioned some productive programs. But comparing these things, like which ones are more, you know, on the TV? If anybody is going to entertain a television in his home, how safe is it going to be? Like, is it possible to have a TV in your home and not be exposed to some of these negative things? Because when I see any like average, you know, TV, you know, some of these satellite dishes and all that, most of the things you are seeing are either, you know, church programs, you know, movies, telenovelas, and, you know, things that I hardly see something that, you know, can be beneficial to anybody who will entertain a television in his home. So what will be your take on, you know, how to, if indeed we are going to have a television in our home, how is it possible to actually save ourselves from the dangers of these things?
Alhamdulillah, 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 thumma alhamdulillah. We give thanks and praise to Almighty Allah for bringing us up to this far, inshallah. As everything that happened to us, even today, we give just thanks to Allah. We have nothing to say than to praise Allah on that, because we are creatures of Allah, just like the rain. So as we are serving Allah, the rain too has 8 points of serving its creator. So the rain was serving as we are also serving. So inshallah, we have nothing to say. But what the question on board concerning television set on or in our rooms these days, and my brother has said his own. But what I will add to it is that let us see the television itself is just a gadget. You see, television itself is just a gadget that my father brought it to the room. Your father brought it to the room. Now let us look at the impact of it, how positive or negative it is. You see what I mean? Oh, why I'm saying all this is that, like, if you go in, if you switch on your television, the program that is coming out for you to see is what is determined for you as a Muslim. Let's clear the doubt here. As a Muslim, if you are to talk about social way, or let's say in a generalized term, you could have said technology is doing more good than harm. But if you are to specify, like say it like under Islamic ethics, I would say television sets in our rooms are doing more harm than good to us. Why? Because television sets, as I firstly said, that is just a gadget in the room. So what is coming out for you to see or to view is what is making you have a good or bad impact of it. So now let us look at the programs that comes on our televisions. Now we have like countless number of television stations on our screens, and each of them are computing to themselves to see that I am on top of this television station. So with that, they influence the viewers per what they are showing for us to see. You see, and now the world in general is into negativity more than positivity. So every TV station is showing something negatively to the society per Islamic ethics. You see, for the viewers to have what, for them to have much what viewers, in order for them to be on top of the rank, in terms of ranking television stations in our nation here. So now each and every television, apart from these religious ones, let's say OBTVs, and so that is solely for a church. If you come to in a general sense, you can see that each and every television has a programming, and for the program we have news as a general thing for every television station. From there we come to entertainment. Entertainment, we come to political shows. Then we come to this for under the entertainment. You like let's start from the news. From the news you get this just giving out the info that's going in and out around the globe. So that one, let's say it is quite positive to us, for us to have an idea about what is going on in your nation or across the globe. So that one comes under, we have sports news under it. Exactly. Under it you come down to have entertainment too. Here is why I would say television is doing more harm than good. The entertainment aspect is controlling the entire brand of television in our rooms. Why am I saying this? Because if you come down to the entertainment aspect, that is where everybody is what truly to have more influence on their viewers. So here, if somebody is doing this program per how to entertain its viewer, I should do something more than what he is doing to also entertain in order to get more viewers. You see, so that comes where then if we are to entertain the people, let us entertain them based on what they like. So you see, we are entertaining our viewers based on what they like, and what they like is what the world likes, and what the world likes is what Islam dislikes. So if you are to follow what television are showing to us today, per Islamic ethics, I would say television shouldn't be even entertained for me to even use money to buy it into my room for my children to watch. Why? Because if you come to the entertainment aspect, now it started from UTV. I am a fan of television. It started from UTV. They initiated these telenovelas coming from India and those stuff. When it came, it cut the interest of the people to this. Everybody was at it. I am going to watch Kukumbagia. I'm going to watch this. I'm going to watch that. Then Adum TV sat down and no, UTV is becoming the leading television station in this nation. So what should we do to overcome them? So they sat down and brought that Kumkumbagia. and they translated their language, which is India, to Chi.
Wow.
So for that Chi itself, the whole nationwide, everybody was at it. To the point that my Malam Al-Hajj Omar will bear with me at Tech here. We had an info that a woman, a married Muslim woman, because of Kumkum Bagia, was divorced.
Wow.
Why was it? Because she was like she fell in love for this movie to the standards. It was time for her to cook for the husband at the evening time. This woman refused to cook to the extent that she used the time for cooking to watch Kumkum Bagia. To the extent that when it was even time for her to go to private, for her to leave that short time to go to the private, he brought in what they call kraba. So how will we? Allahu Akbar. See, at times there are some words that we normally say it's not good to say it on air, but at times we have to clarify things for people to get the real understanding to it. So this thing divorced the marriage.
Wow.
So you see the negative impact of it just because of Kumkum Bagia. So bi'idhnillah, looking at the entertainment aspect of TV shows, if you are to follow it, wallahi, you are having the biggest Satan in your room, more than even the one that you said you call it Satan. Television is the biggest satanic doings, bi'idhnillah. Because everything showing on our television screens today are all on Islamic. Even to the news itself. The news is, you see, the point of it here is that the news that we will say that it is the positive aspect, they are using that one to fight against Islam. Because what the media will come out concerning Muslims, wallahu al-azim, is totally bad. I quite remember at Tafu, just Tafu here. It came that there was some quarrel between the Muslim youth and the Christian youth of the town. So when it came, the commander-in-chief of the police service ordered some of the policemen to go and supervise in order to bring peace. But when they went there, I was told that the barrier that they made was at the Zongo side, and they turned their back to the Christian side, following the Zongo side with their gun that no one should come. Well, because they have the mentality that the Zongo people are the most stubborn. You see, so always they bring bad news on Islam, either than. So inshallah, if you ask me about television, I would say television per Islamic ethics, wallahu al-azim, it is doing more harm than good to us. Inshallah.
Okay. Television in the home.
No.
Brother Abdul Fattah is saying that, in fact, per his own understanding, it would rather be better we avoid it in the home in the first place. Now, let me move to Sister. Let me move to Sister Hassana. Right? I'm confused between Hassana and Hussein. Yes, Sister.
Can you push?
No. So he mentioned categorically that it is not even necessary to keep a television in the home. It's not even right to keep a television. And he mentioned some of these programs that are not safe, some of these telenovelas and other things. And they are all just for entertainment purposes. And we all know that Islamically, most of the entertainment stuff that we have today are not within things that Islam or the Sharia accepts. So would you agree with Abdul Fattah that we shouldn't allow a television at all? Or if you disagree with him, if we are going to have a television, how is it possible to actually control its impact on us and our children, inshallah?
Alhamdulillah once again for giving us this opportunity to also come and share our views on certain things. I agree with my brothers in a way. Yes, television has negative impacts with what we are seeing on our screens today. in as much as we are having these negative programs on our stations and everything, there is a way we parents could also control certain things our children watch. I don't know of other parents, but for me, growing up as a lady, there were times you were not asked to come and watch television, and there were certain programs that which was on TV, you were asked to go and what? Sleep. At times, I would say we tried to hide and watch, but it was just as we trying to hide and watch, but we were so made not to watch the program. No matter how you try to steal and then hide and watch, they would always get a way to get you to what? Go back and sleep. So I would say as parents or as guardians, we have a way towards control our children from watching certain programs on television. How are we going to do this? I don't know. With the satellite dishes, I know there are programs, a lot of programs we get through the satellite stations. But I think there is an option of you deleting certain stations, and then also trying to add up certain Islamic stations. It's not much, but I know there are few of such Islamic programs. So as parents and as guardians or anybody within a Muslim home, we should try as much as possible. Some programs are there, yes. I may be what I would say an old person. I can control certain things. I'm a Muslim. I may watch it, but might not have any negative effects on me, because I know the path I'm treading on, and I know that no matter what, no matter how they may as he said earlier, some negative informations that may come like as against Islam. I know I'm a Muslim. I know my grounds. And I know that path I'm treading. So no matter how or no matter what somebody may say against Islam, I'm not moved. Because I know that is not my religion. And I know it may be somebody saying or somebody insinuating or somebody doing an act that is un-Islamic but has been what? Tied or what? Mad with the name Islam to make it look bad. So no matter how we are defamed or no matter how Islam is stepped on, I know that's not my religion. But let's look at the children's aspects. The kid is small, yes. He or she doesn't have that intuition or that how would I say, he is not firm with certain, the foundation is not as strong as what you are having. So the child is easily influenced by certain things he or she may hear or see. So what do we do? Maybe coincidentally you were watching a program and something came up which may have been against the name Islam. What are you, the person sitting there, or you who watched the thing with the kid, doing to make sure this child doesn't pick what he or she might have seen? Sit the child down. Try to educate the child. The child was not in a way supposed to see it, but woefully the child has seen it. So what are you also doing to what? Make sure the child doesn't pick that negative thing from it. Sit the child down. And it's even a grounds for you to educate the child. This is what you've seen, but this is not how it is. Then you try to explain certain things to the kid. Explain it, because this is the best way you could do as a parent. Our world is growing and it's very difficult to get these kids not to watch television. It's very difficult. But we can in a way also what? Try to, in as much as they watch it, try to also, when they watch, then you also sit them, then we educate them. This is how it looks like.
So
but
it's
in
practically
reality,
impossible to avoid, to prevent them from watching
but
television.
this is how it looks like. This is what people are saying. But in reality, the real fact is that's not it. Then you now teach the kid. So next time, even if he or she goes out, this is what I saw. But my mom has explained it to me that this is how it is. He or she can also in a way educate a peer who may also have watched something like that but couldn't get a parent to advise him or her to also get to know.
No.
Our world is growing. It's very difficult to take kids out of the television, but we as parents should try as much as possible. We give birth to them, and we can also control and let them know certain things that's going around in the world Islamically. So let's not look at the fact that that is it. The obedience to Nishimbia and no. Parents, that you control the time and you are not supposed to watch TV at this time. Programs you think are not good for the kids, delete them from your TV stations. Or you can even lock them. I think you can lock certain things.
Yes.
Delete, lock. Get programs you think are quite beneficial for the kids.
No.
If you know you have a laptop, you can download these videos on laptops. Then you can even quit. You just put off the television. Just take everything out. Just get a laptop. YouTube is there. Download a lot of Islamic videos.
Okay. So you're also giving us another alternative. We can do away with the television.
The television.
And get a computer.
Or even on your phone. You can get apps that can help educate. Now you have a lot of videos. How to make salat. How to learn certain duas. In a song way, in a poetic way, the kid, you just have to just sit the child down.
No.
Put an earpiece or something and just put it in the phone. Just let the kid sit. They get highly adopted to certain, now they are just some, I would say, magnetic to some devices.
No.
You can't take that away from them, but it should be educative enough for them. Get a laptop, get all these videos. Cartoon videos for them, sit them down, let them watch, just leave them. They will get to learn a lot from it. So we as parents can't do away with certain things, but we have a long way in trying to control certain things they do. So that's my take on
I think I will also opt for that option, because what happens with that option is that you actually get to control what comes on the television.
My mom always tells you, I gave birth to you. You didn't give birth to me. So and there's no way my mom would have gone to sleep before you. You will sleep before she does. So our parents should be the solid rock behind our training. So our parents should try and the world is growing. We may not be able, but we parents should stand our grounds. We should stand firmly on what our kids watch and how to control certain things they see and hear.
Inshallah.
And when they go out and they are told certain, it may not be a television, but it may be from what somebody had. Oh, I watched this program, this is what they said. When the kids come home, oh mommy, this is what my friend said. What do you think? Then you try to also educate them. It's not just the television. So parents should try as much as possible to control certain things their kids do.
I think Haj wants to say something on this.
I have a question for my sister. This is the case, our children are more intelligent than we the parents.
Sure.
So in that case, what can we do?
They are intelligent, as in no matter what you do, they try to find ways to watch it. Right? So
is it true that the children are more intelligent than the parents?
I told you in my some of them some are very it's not everybody, some actually on the real
Percentage.
it's
Majority of
some
them are more.
Majority.
I would say they are more exposed.
yes.
Not as far as intelligence is concerned, but children can control some of these devices.
Yes.
And they are exposed to certain things that parents were not really.
And that's why I said parents, the parents should also try as much as stand your ground too. You think it's not, and you think it's not helping the kid. What's your take on you making sure the kid does not go there? We have how would I say, as I was growing.
You see what my sister is saying? Wallahi, today it's only prayers. Your child, your children, it's only prayers. How can you stop a child from not watching such things?
Because when they go to school, that's what they discuss.
Because
You
I have
see,
a story.
in the bringing up of a children or child, the society have upper influence more than you, the parent.
You are trying to say that the society is having what much control, but you should try as a parent to make sure that thing doesn't happen. The child should believe so much in you than the child will believe in society. It's happening, but the parents should try as. There's no way Hassana, for instance, that's because of my upbringing. There's no way I would go out and come at this time because I know what my parents are. And there are things I wouldn't do because it might in a way tarnish my parents' face. So it's the parents. The parents should try as much as possible not to make society be the one to mold your kid. You should stand your grounds. If the child is going wayward, let the child know in a pleasant way. Let the kid be able to tell you.
We are not disputing what our sister is saying, But you see, that's the problem of we Africans, black people.
Yeah.
We think tomorrow by white people think afar. What my sister is saying is then ideas. But today, let me tell you, why will somebody say Abdul Fattah is having this kind of lifestyle? And it will be different from how the person will describe you. Yeah. But though we are all born in the same, but let's even one same room, but with different lifestyle. It depends on how we were all brought up. You see, and the way our parents treated us when we were young, we will never treat our children as they treated us. Yes. Today. How the world is growing. She was even saying the world has grown. The world is not growing again.
It's still growing.
To we Africans, the world is still growing. But to them, they have 20 years plan. To them, they have 20 years plan. I can tell you, the coming of even television set in our room has a reason from the white people. They have a reason of bringing that television into your room. They have a reason. They sat down, planned, and designed it in a way. He was talking about program. I am asking you a question. We are Muslims. Although we can have ways and means of what cutting down of all these programs that we are talking about. But our problem as Muslims today, concerning what is showing on our televisions, we could have solved it in any way. But the problem here is togetherness. How many Islamic stations do we have in our nation here? How many people, you will tell me that decoders are there. How many Muslims can afford to buy decoders into their rooms after what? Purchasing their television set? And if you have television without a decoder, you are forced to watch what is in there. Because you don't have television station, but you own the television, but what is coming from it, you don't pay for it. So you are forced to watch it, whether you like it or not. Then switch off your television. Okay. I quite remember in the political history, we were told in Ghana here that one man, just in a jovial way, was like, he hates this former president Rawlings to the extent that one day former president Rawlings appeared on his television screen, and he said, "You this man, hi, the way I even wanted to kill you, and today you are in my room." He took a gun, Tiabofre on, just to shoot Rawlings off. You see, the gun was shot, and before he realized the television was spoiled, and then Rawlings was still alive. Talking on another station, television.
Some other person's TV.
So you see, we can only solve this if maybe we say we have a television station with even Islamic decoders. Wow. Because if you have to, if you say you have to delay some television station on your decoder, you end up deleting everything, leaving only one. And that one, Ghana, when we had guidance, it was sold to somebody, and it was then turned to Tabia TV. Why? Because we were not having money to sponsor Islamic program for them to show it to us. How many Muslims are doing business to sponsor Islamic programs? Even as ACCESS started, how many Muslims are sponsoring this thing, this minor thing? How many people are sponsoring in order to go and sponsor that big one for them to show to you? And television is run for sponsorship. Without sponsorship, you run at loss. And when you are running at loss, it is better you sell it out and sit at your place.
So how can we?
Wow.
The only thing that we can do is to not even go into the shop to ask for the television price. That's the
We
best
shouldn't
thing.
even find out how much a television
We should even have the imagination that we don't have television in the world. That, to me, that would be the best solution. That would be the best solution.
Honestly speaking,
Uh-huh.
the realities on the ground is this. There could be a television station with the Islamic programs there. But if the kid is not really knowledgeable in Islam, is the kid going to watch? If that fear of Allah is not in the kid, is that kid going to watch?
No.
That's the point.
You see the problem?
That's the point I want to make.
You see the problem?
It's
So
true.
you, the parents, you are a what? A stepping stone to that
Yes.
kid watching that Islamic programs.
Yes.
You get it?
Yeah.
The stations may be there, but if the kid is not so imbibed in that Islamic teachings, the kid is not going to watch that.
Yeah,
It's going
true.
to be waste.
It's true.
But what I say is, you the parent, you can make the child
Yes.
like the station.
Sure.
No.
But you, this is the case that you said that the children should watch Islamic channel, and you are there watching Adum.
Yes.
What do you expect the children to watch?
You get
Uh-huh.
it?
So I think
It means that it
charity
goes
begins
beyond,
at home.
it
Sure.
goes beyond
Yes.
what you make
Yes.
the children watch.
Because-
But you
Yes.
yourself, what
Because
you
You have to
yourself,
be a
when
partaker
when you
in that
come to my
watching of that
house,
program.
When you come to my house, my mother used to watch these telenovelas with the children. Those who are learning will be learning whilst watching. You see?
Yes.
You see the thing. So how can you?
Well, for me personally, like I said, I am more inclined towards the opinion or the idea that we should have computers in our rooms. Personally,
That
I
would
don't
be
have.
best.
Personally, I don't have a television in my room. I have a laptop which I use for everything, and I download Islamic lectures, Islamic programs for all kinds of ages and all kinds
that
of
would
people.
be best.
The
And-
bottom line is parents may not be able to stop kids from watching certain programs, but be sure of certain negative things the child may pick.
May pick.
That's why I said they could watch, but they may see things as they are. But you, the parents, have to sit the child down and explain things to the kid, so that the kid may not pick certain negative things from what he or she is watching. The kids may be like, oh, I'm in school, all my friends watch these programs. You may not be able to stop her from watching a part or certain times. Oh,
But
you
if the
have-
television is not in the home, she can't get it to watch, or he can't get it to watch.
but
so-
the parents may not want to take
He
the
or she
television off.
plays
yes.
You get
with
it?
friends. So
Yes.
when the person is out from the house to a friend's house and the thing is showing, can you go there and stop him or her?
You can't stop him or her, but that's why I'm saying that it's all with you, the parents. If the kids may pick negative things from what he or she, you are also a part. When they watch certain things, you, the parents, should sit the child down and let the children know the realities on the ground. This is how it appears on the screen, but this is not it. So the kids grow up with that intuition that, oh, but anytime if I maybe say, what I'm watching.
So now we are looking at two things here. Are we supposed to, one, prevent our children from watching or getting exposed to some of these programs?
We can't
or
prevent
we should
them.
let them watch and guide them in showing them the difference between what is right and what is wrong.
From what's going on in this country, we can't prevent kids from watching certain things.
Oh, well, I'll come to you on that too.
We can't
That's
prevent
why I'm
kids
quiet.
from watching certain things. Honestly speaking. Honestly speaking, because he mentioned the fact that no matter how,
unless prayers.
unless prayers.
Unless prayers.
So prayers is inclusive. You get it? Prayers is inclusive.
Yeah.
The child is watching it, but you should guide the kid. Blend it. You can even blend both. But you should make sure that the other side is much more than what the other negative side may be. So that it will not cloud the small negative one will not cloud the judgment of what the positive may bring.
No.
The negative may be there, but it's not as much as the positive one. So anytime the kid's watching the program or something, the child is guided by, let's say, about the 80% of the good he or she watches. The 20 may be there, but the 80 is a guide to the words, the kid. You get it? So that's my take on it.
Malawal.
Thank you all
Are we
very
supposed
much.
to allow them to watch the television, or we shouldn't allow them to watch?
Right. From where I am looking Atsana. I'm looking at my grandmother in the village. Can she afford a laptop? No. You said she should go and download programs.
But a flash screen is more expensive than a laptop.
Where I'm teaching,
there
is no network. There is no network. So this family, how are they going to control their children? Per what we are saying. Now, since day one, I've been saying that if men start to perform their duties as men, and wives perform their duties as wives, definitely we can control our children. How? How? The last time we treated knowing your children's friends. Who are their friends? If you control them in the house, definitely when they go out, they will not take anyone as friend, anyone at all as a friend.
Yes.
They will take the people you like as friends. You know, from where I come from, my brother, his children, Allahu Akbar, they will have the remote control, but they have certain channels they watch. Other channels, they will never go there.
Forbidden.
He will not beat them, but they will never go there. He sat them down and told them, as he was saying, the consequences of those programs.
Sure.
When they are watching TV and it goes to the adverts, this thing, and a pastor or whatever comes, you know, you will see that you will switch it off and go inside to sleep. It is what we call training. That's what Sheikh Munajid is saying. These are recommendations. If we are to take them, inshallah, we can control our children.
Inshallah.
Now let's look at something. This television, it doesn't cause harm to only the children. One, it causes people to pray late. Salah. Not to mention causing men to miss the prayer in the masjid, especially when there is a tough match. You remember UEFA Champions League when we were Tarawih? That's where the youth started by quoting that, oh, even the prophet said when you pray Tarawih alone, it's beneficial.
That's where we receive 21st century malams.
Everybody will be
Yes.
a reporter.
Yes, and it also reduced the reward of widows and some of us who fast. You know, in during the month of Ramadan, there are something we shouldn't watch at all. So the clear-cut point is that we should control what our children watch. If I quote from Dr. Abdul Rahman, Faculty of Engineering, KNUST, he said that you cannot prevent negative influence from hovering around your ears, but you can prevent your mind and heart from thinking about them. You know, the country and where we are now, we are not in an Islamic country. You know, this country is Christian dominated.
It's a democratic country.
Very good, but Christian dominated. Yeah, yes, I'm very sure.
Oh, it's true.
Yeah, so some of the things that they show on the screens, mostly it portrays Christianity. So you as the parent, if you the father performs your duty as a father, like the last time I said, some fathers don't have time in the homes to spend with their children. At least, let's say once in a week, have a quality time with your children. Know what their problems are and how you are going to solve them amicably. Who offended them? When they went out, what did they see? You know, when we perform our duties as married men with the conscience of Islam, inshallah, I think and I believe that we can control our children. Now, we say when they even go out, they will watch. You know, when my father wasn't having television, sometimes my other brother will go out to watch television, but myself, I will not go, I'll just sleep. Because my father told us that the money that he will use to buy television, that's the money he's using to pay our school fees and the rest. So if we learn very hard, a time we can afford our own televisions, and so we should take our time. So some of us picked what our daddy said. So it's a matter of sitting your children down, teaching them what is good and bad. Like the prophet said, there should be a community amongst you who are amru bil ma'ruf wa nahy anil munkar. Those who are enjoying goodness on people, their families, and one anil munkar how should I put it? And forbid people and your family from what is bad. So I think if we look at Surah to Luqman, Quran chapter 31, the advice Luqman gave to his son, if a father gives this advice sincerely to your son or daughter, I believe and think that inshallah we are going to put the children under control. Inshallah.
Now this brings me to the next point, which is on the mobile phones and social media and all that. These days, Facebook, WhatsApp, and all that are things that almost everybody is doing. So for you as a parent, how do you guide your family in some of these things? You know, should you allow your children to go around social media? And these days, you know, for mobile phone, you can do anything on it. And what makes mobile phone actually more dangerous is that sometimes you never know what's on your child's mobile phone because they have put locks on them and all that. So, you know, in that instance, what can a parent do to guide their children as far as the use of mobile phones are concerned? I'll start with Abdel Fattah and then come to Hassana and then we'll come to you, Awal, inshallah.
Inshallah. Concerning this topic and looking at where our brother was coming from, I think the solution can be just taken from his words that he gave out. Inshallah, in order to prevent our children from, let's even say, being addicted to mobile phone, it's just about today. I quite remember during at a younger age, my oldest brother told me before he was to use his first phone in life, at that time the phone was very expensive to buy, so he contributed a lot. He bought the phone a year before having a chip to insert into the phone. Why? Because even the amount of the same at that time can now buy a phone today. You see, but today what do we see? Phone is just something common to the extent that every child, even at the age below 18, are all using mobile phones. Who buys it to them? Who provide the phones to them?
Especially our daughters.
You see, they are. You see, they are students. They don't work.
The entire family.
That's it. They are students. They don't work. Who gave them that phones to use? So most at times it's the way which brings up our children that what calls them into all such those things. So in order to prevent them from those things, as our brother said, let us them know the good and bad of this and that. So even if the person is even using the phone, he will not go in for the negative thing, but rather the positive one. Because I and you, as we are seated here, we can bear and swear that if you go onto our phones, you won't see anything nudity on it. Why? Because the faith that is in us. So if all children are being given such treatment or stuff, they wouldn't even try themselves by involving into such nudity things or pictures or videos and such on their phones. I remember when I was at Tamale, wallahi, I once told my gym students at KSTS that I had a mindset after coming from Tamale that if I'm blessed with a baby girl, for her to go to university, I will make sure this lady is much into Dean before. If not, I wouldn't. Why? Because at Tamale UDS campus, some can be even convinced with just iPhone 8 and they will sell themselves out to men.
Wow.
Just because of iPhone 8 and laptop. How much is a laptop? But a lady will go and what? Sell herself out for a guy just because of a laptop or a phone. You see? Or is because the world has gone up to the extent that everybody just want to use a power phone, everybody want to use this. It has become a fashion for us. So this is how the world is building upwards. So this is like where I was coming from, even as we are discussing about this television stuff. You see, per my research and what I've been reading based on technology, I can tell, like I was saying, the White has a plan to everything. Like I was telling you, this mobile phone, it has a purpose. This mobile phone that we are using, it has a purpose. But brother, this mobile phone can download negative things as well as positive things. So if the idea of bringing mobile phone was even in a negative sense, I have to make it positive for me. This laptop, the idea of bringing up this phone, the same idea was made up in bringing up this laptop. But what we are using this laptop for right now is giving us blessing than curse. You see, so at times it depends on how the mentality attached to it that makes it that good or bad. So this is, as we are saying, what our brother said can also be taken to the mobile phone side for us to help our children from this sort of things. Inshallah, I think that one will also help for us to keep all that disease.
MashaAllah. Okay. Thank you very much, Brother Abdul Fattah. Haja Husseina, Hassana, subhanallah. What will be your take on, how we can make sure our children or our daughters are not, giving themselves out for iPhone what?
8 and X.
I don't even know the difference. Okay.
Okay. I would say, as parents, we should try to set our priorities right. You said, as you said, as early as below 18 years, then a parent gets a phone for the child.
These days, by 12, 10 years, even children in primary school.
Some of us were given a phone as early as below 18, but it was for what? A good purpose. It was just this normal phones because we were so away from home, very away from home, and that was one of the words. And even with that, it wasn't given to us personally. It would be given to somebody who is quite older. So that when
you want to make a call,
you go to that person to pick a call. Some of us were fortunate; we had some uncles around that we could go to and then pick the phone to make the calls. So the bottom line here is the kind of training. It all goes down to the kind of training. I was given a phone, but I was told the purpose for which I was supposed to use the phone for. I don't know. My form of training was such that I wouldn't use the phone for what? Negative stuff. You get it? Way back in school, I happened to move with a few friends because I was staying in Kumasi here. But my dad said I should travel and go to my hometown to go to school. Boga. No parents around. Even the uncles who you are told to go and see, sometimes it's not, how would I say, they are not available. So I always want to stay on this fact, the training. I was staying very far away from home. That I could have gotten the opportunity to do a whole lot of things because there was no control over there. I had friends who were moving with sugar daddies. That at a point in time, sugar daddies would go and crash and they wouldn't know where to put their head. And they would have to use you as a bait.
Subhanallah.
You get it? And I always say this, the training. I was moving with them, but in as much as I was moving with them, I had my own intentions. One, I'm a Muslim. If I do such, it's a negative and I would say a dirty name to me as a Muslim. I had few Muslims who were quite like doing it, but you have to set standards. Who are your parents? Oh, Alhaji Ibrahim. Oh, Alhaji Ibrahim's daughter there, I don't think she does this and that. But with this girl there, just imagine the kind of training. I could have done anything with them not being around. And there were times that were so hard that sometimes money is not available. But yes, though, the kind of training and the kind of image you may leave for somebody to see wasn't going to be good. So no matter how difficult it was, this is the kind of training, this is the standard you've set for yourself. Don't settle for anything less. Don't be materialistic. So you as a parent, you are training the kid. Now, it's even worrisome. Your kid is in the house with you and she brings a phone and the parent is on looking. Where the kid got the money to buy a phone If it wasn't money she used to buy the phone, where could she have gotten it from? Have you gone around to ask her friend how she got the phone? What do you see? Like what type of things are on her phone? Do you check that? You get it? So parents, it always falls on parents. You haven't bought the phone for the kid. Ask where the child got the phone. Do your own investigations. It may not be you asking her directly, but try to do your own investigation. Is my child treading a good path? Where could she have gotten the phone? Who are the friends she's now following? It could be that she was having few friends that she may have moved from, because she thinks she is not they are not moving in the direction she thinks, and so maybe a new friends she formed new friends. Who are her new friends now? What do they do? Now a lot of ladies have moved from being malames to slay queens just because she was moving with good friends, but because they don't fit into her distant world, she may have met new friends who are moving. Right now, it's more like a competition. They post video this one posts a video this. It's like they are all at their necks.
Subhanallah.
They are at their necks. She has done this, I have to do this. That's the materialistic notion. First, train the kid so much not to be so materialistic that at times, even in hard times, the kids may not do or go the extra mile to do something forbidden to get what she wants. Training. It all falls down on training. Guide the kid. My mom will tell you, even if you don't have anything and you have 20 pesos that can fetch you food, be grateful. But don't go and steal. 20 pesos is enough to buy food or buy water. Stay with it than to go and steal or to go and do something that is abominable to yourself. So training. Know what your child uses on her phone. Train her such that she will not even have that audacity to go to a site and download an app that is not good for her. Sit her down. Quranic recitations. Advice as a mother or a father. Sit her down. Let the child be a friend of yours. Let the closeness be there so that when there's a problem with her, she doesn't mind talking to you personally. Be a friend. Don't just be the kakai type. When she does wrong, discipline her. But make sure the bond is there such that if she is doing something, she can fall on you to advise her. No. Mom, my friends are doing this. So she got a new phone. I would have loved to get one, but we don't have money. You will sit her down. Yes, there's no money, but let's wait on God. No. It's my desire that I will get one for you, but right now the system is very hard. I pray I make you a better person so that you will get it on your own, but not follow the friends who are doing such and such to go and get a phone. Now we the ladies are now called iPhone ladies. If it's no iPhone, I use a Spider Woman. I'm always laughed at. But I've set my priorities right. If the phone is no, once I know I can do what I want to do with the phone and it's not a problem, why do I have to struggle so much? Just kill myself to get it. So training. Parents, the training. Train her so that she may not be pushed or inclined to doing or picking certain things which are haram on social media. Phones can be used for good things, a whole lot of good things. I use the phone to advertise my stuff. You can do advocacy, if not Islamic.
You can even learn the Quran.
Educational stuff. Download the Quran, download Hadith, download a whole lot. But create that bond in such a way that, my daughter, let me see what's on your phone. These things are no good, so don't do. Advise the kid. So next time she knows that she has gone to download an app, she and her mom have, or the dad has this close relationship. So my mom and my dad have advised me that it's not good. So next time she won't go and download it. In as much as, no matter how she is pressurized, the mom and her dad are close to her and have given her that advice that it's not good, so she shouldn't download it.
No.
Next time she wouldn't do it.
No.
So it's all on words, the kind of training you give to your kids. Don't let society be the ones controlling your kids. You gave birth to them. Society didn't give birth to the kids. So try as much as possible to create that bond so that the kids will fall on you for everything.
No. Thank you very much, Sister Husseina. Hassana. Yes. The scholar told me recently that the world has come to a point that there should be friendship between parents and children, not like those days where parents are over there and children are down here, and that there's always like, hey, do this, and the child is doing it. These days it's not like that. There's the need for you to nurture that kind of relationship, friendship between you and then your parents. Okay, our time is almost up, or I'll say it's up. So on this same issue, I'll take the last point, the last submission from our brother Idris Muhammad Awal, inshallah. Mobile phones, how we should let our children use it and how we should control their usage and all
inshallah. May Allah grant us goodness and understanding. My brother and my sister have already said all of them. I think I have very little to add. Even as in jihad, the Prophet said we have two types of jihad fi sabilillah and jihad fi sabilil shaitan. So your phone, are you using it for jihad fi sabilillah or jihad fi sabilil shaitan? The telephone is useful. It's a useful invention and one of the essentials of modern life. In this modern Ghana, each and everyone wants to use mobile phone. Yeah, because of WhatsApp, Facebook, Tango, Twitter, and the rest. It saves time. Some of the advantage. Mobile phone saves time, spans distance, and keeps you in touch with everybody. Like we are here, you can chat with someone in Saudi, someone in Burkina Faso, everywhere. Now, those are the advantages. The phone can also wake somebody up for Fajr. Someone can ask questions related to Sharia. Someone can use it to learn the Quran, everything. But at the same time, the telephone may also be a means of doing many evil things in the homes and around us. Anything that have advantages definitely have disadvantages. So some of the disadvantages are it disturbs us. The mobile phone, especially when you are very busy, calls will be coming in up and down. But there's something I just want us to look at. No, I don't talk much now. Our parents, as my sister have already said, is very simple. A sound Islamic education will guarantee proper use of the telephone when the person who is in charge is absent. That is, if the children and youth are taught properly, they will not misuse the telephone when their parents and elders are not around. Me per se, the training my parents gave me, even now, if I'm doubting something, my father taught me that I shouldn't fear him, but I should fear Allah. So that thing have been in me. Even when I'm doing something wrong, I know that Daddy said fear Allah. Allah is everywhere, but my father is not there. So the training is very, very important, as she said. So a sound Islamic education is very, very important. Let's educate our children on the do's and don'ts of Islam. Are you seeing this mobile phone? It's not for me. It's for my younger brother who just completed GHS. I went to him and I saw him using it. I said, whose phone is it? He said, it's for my friend. I said, okay. The next week I went to him, whose phone is it? So my friend said I should use it. He will come for it. The next week I went and said, I saved money and I bought. I said, wow, mobile phone shouldn't be your priority. So I took the phone. And when my father heard it, he was very happy that I'll be able to stamp my feet to do that. My father, this time around, he's very old. So they control this thing and this thing is very weak. But he's very happy that I've taken that bold decision. So I called my brother and I said that give me the phone. Then he brought the phone. I said, this shouldn't be your priority. Just learn very hard. You are yet to enter the second circle institution. If you learn very hard, you can buy your own mobile phone. You'll not be hiding or lying to me that this phone is for somebody, is for me. So he understood. And I said, I'm going to keep this phone until you start to behave well, start being in good behavior until you enter SHS. If you enter SHS, for researches and other things, inshallah, I'll give you back this phone. He understood. So I gave him my little phone that if it is called that he want to make. Maybe he want to hear from his senior brothers. There's no problem. So I gave him the smaller one.
Give him the yam.
The yam. So now he's using the yam comfortably. He's not complaining. As my sister said, it's the training. I explained things to him. I said Islamically, this phone can send you to Jahannam, and it can also send you to Jannah. Now look at the youth who are springing nowadays. Subhanallah. You know, if you don't take care, you can't control your children. If you want to be the bossy type, subhanallah, they are smarter than us because they are more exposed. You know, our children, that's our brothers and sisters. If you see them with mobile phones, like my sister said, just have time and go to the mobile phone. You see something you don't want to see. So the last resort is to disconnect the phone if the evils it causes are greater than the benefits of the benefits it brings. So the last resort is what I've done. I've seized the phone until further notice. So if we the guardians and the parent performs our duties as guardians and parents, if the rapport between us and our children is good, I think we can control our children, inshallah.
No, thank you very much, Malam Idris Muhammad Awal. Now, so it's all boils down to what the training, the upbringing, and how the kind of relationship we establish with our children, inshallah. There is much more for us to discuss, but unfortunately, alhamdulillah, this is where time will allow us to bring down today's program.
I plead just for a minute to clarify something here. Coming down to this training stuff that we have been talking about and stuff, there is something that I have been fighting against within our Zongo communities. Why is because of you see today we witness a couples with this long term of rankling between them. There was a big problem that they weren't talking to themselves for quite a long time.
A couple.
Yes. Why? Because of their children. You see, it will come that we've given birth to this child. The man will say, I want to name this child after my parent, either father or mother. The woman will say, I want to name this one either before my after my father or mother. The naming your child before any parent of you is not the problem that I'm talking about. I don't care about it. But the problem here is when the name is being given to the child, that child become a bossy child among the children. Why? Because my brother has named his second born Baba Seidu because he named him after my father. So whatever you do to the guy, you are beating your father. When he's doing something wrong and you want to like shape the child, they will say it is your father that you are beating. If you shout at the person, it is your father. If you lay your hands on the child, it is your father. So this father, mother is
It has to stop.
seriously. So in totality of it, let's even stop naming our child. If that's the you have to stop naming them.
No, you naming the child after your
becoming
parents means they had a good influence on
Yes.
you. So why is it that you don't
That's
shape in
it.
the kids to
Discipline them.
make
Yes.
such a person? Why is it you are now?
But whatever you do to the child, then it is your
I
father. It is
Now
your
I'm no
mother.
papa now.
Hey, you are trying to get
He was shaped before.
I think the problem is not
Judge.
the problem is not the naming, but how we treat the
How
naming.
we
Yes.
treat the naming is the problem.
you thought that the name was good enough because
Yes.
of the good influence your father may have impacted on you or on the society.
That's it.
So try and also you naming the kid, nature the kid to be such a person so that it's not going to mar the name of that man. Because if the child starts to misbehave later on, oh yeah, then not to sana now
So, like for example, will you name your child before Pharaoh? Like Pharaoh.
Oh no.
Why?
How do you name his child
Why?
after Pharaoh?
Oh, you see, Azazir is a very nice name. Azazir. See how nice the name sounds. But who has ever named his child as an Azazir? Because Azazir was the original name of Satan. You see, no
Nobody
malam,
would
no
want,
sheikh. Oh, So bismillah,
So
we have to.
we shouldn't use the fact that we have named our children after a prominent personality,
and
you
shouldn't
let it.
Some will name them Muhammad, but hey, Muhammad.
Baba said they were Jimmy was hey.
You will name your child before your father, but you won't let anything happen to him.
Yes.
Meanwhile, you will name the person Muhammad, but you will treat him like a trash. What about that? Muhammad is a Rasul.
Yes.
So if you treat them,
So the naming here is not an issue, but how we actually approach it.
I'm named Abdul Fattah. Look at how nice this name is. A name that's used to praise Allah.
No.
And yes, they certainly don't respect me, but respect my son, whose name as Baba Seidu.
Okay. Now, thank you very much, brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah, this is where time will allow us to bring the program to an end. This has been the book review show on MAM Online Radio and TV. And then we have been discussing the book, The Muslim Home by Sheikh Muhammad Saleh Al-Munajjid. There's so much we had to discuss today, but unfortunately, we were able to look at two basic things, which is the mobile phone and then the television in the home, and how to actually control how our children use them. Hopefully, inshallah, next week we will continue with the evils in the home, inshallah. Today I had with me Brother Idris Muhammad Awal, Abdul Fattah Saeed, right? And then Hajia Hassana Ibrahim Adongo. Any of them goes. No, okay. So Fatah. So either Fatah Seidu or Abdul Fattah Saeed, inshallah. My name has been Abdul Aziz Shoaib Ishaq. I have been your host, and then with me here is my boss and my producer, Al-Hajj Umar Muhammad. Now he is my boss, so he's the overall boss. No. Okay, now we pray and hope that Allah gives us health and life next week, inshallah, so that we bring you another edition of the book review show. Until then, we leave you all with the best of salutation. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yenji mofrada sukuu hia edisua ye ewo mofra edisua ho pomasi bre dache wa nyemobo nene u pe sukuu ama wo mofra esua buku munyansa